Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. So in the last video, we discussed Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay's future, but it looks like Harry Maguire's future has been decided as Manchester United have accepted a fee from West Ham of £30 million. That bid has been accepted. The player is now set to discuss personal terms with West Ham, although they are not deemed to be an issue, and they are expected to be agreed quite quickly. So Harry Maguire could be about to leave Manchester United in a £30 million deal. I'll react to that news, but also coming thick and fast behind that is the news that Manchester United could have a replacement lined up, with Benjamin Pavard of Bayern Munich being linked with a move to Manchester United and seemingly closer than anyone would have expected. We've also been linked with Jean-Claire Todibo as well of Nice, so we'll get stuck into all the discussions about a possible replacement. But the big news today, breaking this morning from Laurie Whitwell, and then loads more people getting involved in the discussions on that, plus an update from Fabrizio Romano in the last couple of minutes as well. Harry Maguire set to join West Ham in a £30 million transfer. Manchester United bringing in £30 million, which is a loss considering we paid £80 million for him when he arrived, a massive loss. But United will be getting £200,000 per week off the wage bill, and it doesn't look like this deal will include any payoff for Harry Maguire, so he may have taken a hit on his wages for this deal to go through. But Manchester United looking to sell Harry Maguire and looking to sell him to West Ham. Before we get stuck into all the latest news and all the latest talk surrounding Manchester United and the centre-back ins and outs, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, liking, commenting, sharing, all that jazz. Make sure you're keeping it locked to the channel. We will have plenty coming up for you. Now, as I said, the latest on Harry Maguire in the last couple of minutes come from Fabrizio Romano, and he said West Ham are now waiting to have formal authorization to start discussions over personal terms with Harry Maguire. Bear in mind, there's a key word there, formal. I'm sure informal discussions would have already happened, and we see clubs generally only bid for players that they know would accept personal terms from them. He goes on to say, though, Manchester United want clarity over details of the deal, the structure and payment terms after a fee agreed earlier for £30 million. Now, obviously, Laurie Whitwell and The Athletic came through with that story earlier on today, reporting that Manchester United had agreed £30 million. We rejected a £20 million bid from him. And then we had heard reports that Manchester United had been offered a combined £60 million for Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire. It looks like 30 and 30 for both of those players. It looks like the bid for Scott McTominay was rejected. Obviously, Manchester United at this time also being linked with departures of Fred and Donny van der Beek. Maybe we're going to bring in funds for those players in terms of the midfield departures. But £30 million for Scott McTominay, can't lie, Manchester United probably should have accepted that and looked to reinvest that elsewhere. We've been linked with the likes of Amrabat and so on. But as it stands, Manchester United have accepted the bid for Harry Maguire, which is £30 million. And as we said, we're waiting for clarification on how that is. Is it £30 million guaranteed? Is that including some add-ons, the structure, the payment terms? Is it over 3 years, 2 years, etc.? That's what the club will want to get to the bottom of. And of course, we're looking for Harry Maguire to accept terms from West Ham. Although, as Laurie Whitwell reported earlier, when he reported the fee was agreed, that isn't deemed to be a problem. So Harry Maguire set to leave. Now look, I don't think it's been a particular success, the transfer to Manchester United. I think it's the right decision from Erik ten Hag. I supported Erik ten Hag's decision to take the captaincy off him, and I support Erik ten Hag's decision to sell him. I don't have any of that vitriol that a lot of people do, and we've seen him get booed in games and all those kind of things. I'd never look to boo him. Look, I don't think he's good enough for United, and I don't think he should have been captain. I do think he's a decent player, and I do think he'll probably go on and do well for West Ham, which will suit his style a little bit more than Manchester United did. The top teams are looking for defenders to play out from the back and to play quick football. Harry Maguire's not that guy, but in maybe a more defensive system for David Moyes, he will be a little bit more suited to that. Also, the pressure that is on players at Manchester United, not only when you're coming for a big fee like 80 million, but then you're also the captain. Not many players can deal with that. So look, good luck to him. If moving on now to West Ham, it looks like that's going to happen. But I never kind of got any of the vitriol for him. I'm sure he didn't want to underperform for Manchester United, but it just happened that he wasn't good enough for us. He did have a few decent moments for us, I suppose, early on in his career at Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He looked pretty good for us in those early stages, which led to him becoming the captain. And then, of course, you look at him, you know, he lifted that trophy, that Carabao Cup. That would have been a dream for him, lifting it as captain of Manchester United, although he did come on as a substitute in the game, and it probably wasn't the ideal circumstances for him, and deserved, you know, Erik ten Hag picked the right team, as we all know, and he has been picking the right team, and he's been picking 3 or 4 players ahead of Harry Maguire. So it was only right that Harry Maguire looked to move. It was talk about him possibly staying. I'm glad he didn't decide to do that, because what we would have had a £30 million asset, as it's deemed, on 200 grand a week or near enough, given that there would have been increases for Champions League football, and he would have just been wasted there on the bench, wasted resources for Manchester United, waste of time for him being sat on the bench. I think it's the right move for him to go, and I think it's a decent move for him as well. Now, who will come in for him? There's been linked with, as I said, Jean-Claire Todibo has been linked with a move to Manchester United, but also we're now seeing links to Benjamin Pavard, and Florian Plettenberg has been reporting that as well. On Benjamin Pavard, Fabrizio Romano also reports that Benjamin Pavard is keen on a move to Manchester United, and 3 options in the list for the new centre-back are Benjamin Pavard, Jean-Claire Todibo and Edmond Tapsoba. Benjamin Pavard obviously at Bayern Munich at this moment in time. He's got 1 year left on his current deal there, which means, you know, you can probably get him at a knockdown fee, 35 million euros. I think they paid for him when they bought him over from Germany. And, well, they're in Germany, but you know what I mean anyway. But Benjamin Pavard in concrete talks to join Manchester United, says Florian Plettenberg. All parties are working on a verbal agreement. So maybe the ease, or the more easy nature of that deal, and the versatility as well, which Florian Plettenberg has reported. Ten Hag is pushing for Benjamin Pavard due to his versatility as a defender. Can play at right back, can play at centre back. Coming in would be a good option to take that position of Harry Maguire. Obviously, looks like Johnny Evans may be sticking around as well. You've then got, you know, Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, who's been played out of position at centre back at times. You'd have Benjamin Pavard there as well, Johnny Evans, and then any of the young academy lads coming through. So United would be spoilt for choice in those centre back positions, and we've seen, you know, over the last season, there's been various times when Varane and Martinez haven't been available and we need to replace them. So it would leave us with good choice. Obviously, Jean-Claire Todibo has been another man mentioned, linked with a move to Manchester United, would be the more younger option, upcoming, maybe with a little bit of a higher ceiling. But it remains to see who Manchester United will be going for. But at the moment, it sounds like Benjamin Pavard. The only thing for sure is that Harry Maguire is set for a move to West Ham. Obviously got to accept personal terms there, but they are deemed to not be a problem. Manchester United looking to get rid of him. And Erik ten Hag been shrewd and quick and fast in making some big decisions. You know, the Cristiano Ronaldo one. I know these are some kind of easy decisions to make, but he made them. The Cristiano Ronaldo one, taking the captaincy of Harry Maguire, selling Harry Maguire. Marcus Rashford getting dropped at that point in time sent a message to the camp and to the team and to the dressing room. And I think he's showing that he's the man for the job, in my opinion. You look at the De Gea decision as well. All right, it might have taken a while to get there in the end, but I think he had in his mind that he wants to get rid of him, whether he was backup or he stayed on as a second option. I think it was clear he wants to get rid of him. He eventually did. Hopefully these decisions are key in Manchester United having a successful season, and I think there will be. And it'll be interesting to see who comes in now as well. Obviously, Eric Bailly being linked with a move away, Donny van der Beek, Dean Henderson, Fred, Scott McTominay as well. You'd imagine some more of those players will be out, and then who will be coming in? Will it Sofiane Amrabat in that midfield area? Hopefully, because if we can get that defender, midfielder, squad will be looking good, man, and you never know where that could take us this season. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're keeping it like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll be back very soon. See you in a bit.